Hi, welcome to Floorever Friends. We don't know what we're talking about on this episode, so I'm going to talk about one of my favorite internet stories. You don't know anything about this.
No, go ahead, take it
double
away.
checked.
I will just sit here.
This is the story of Cocaine Bear. Okay. So, I don't know how many people actually know this, but there was, in 2021, there was an announcement made that there was going to be a movie. The movie was going to be directed by Elizabeth Banks, and it is a dark comedy / thriller. So it's on our list to watch.
Okay.
Are you prepared?
I guess. Are we gonna watch it?
Yeah, we are. It's set to
release.
Out? It's set to release February 24th, 2023.
Oh, so this year.
Yeah. So I think they started filming in 2021, but then coronavirus and stuff, so It took time.
About this cocaine bear?
Yeah. All right, so I actually did research. So here's to set the scene. It's November 1985.
Can you LARP this for me?
Do you want me just to be a bear? Okay. Sometime in November 1985 in Chattahoochee National Forest, located in Georgia, a 175-pound black bear would stumble upon a duffel bag containing 75 pounds of 95% pure cocaine.
Ooh, the good stuff.
Yeah, it's
dang
pure. Yeah,
in Georgia.
Okay. Yeah. So then, I think if you've heard this story, it's always like that's all you're ever. All the information that's ever given is like, oh, a bear took a bunch of cocaine and then just like ran rampant, and then like nothing's ever heard of it again. But when you do more research into it, it only stayed alive for another 20 minutes and then it died because that's a lot of cocaine that it consumed.
It ate all of that?
Yeah, it ate a lot.
Wait, how much was in the bag again?
75 pounds.
And it ate all of that?
A lot of it, yeah. Most of it. Yeah. Okay, so then it would die 20 minutes later, and the body would not be found for another 3 to 4 weeks because a local hunter who discovered the dead bear proceeded to not tell anyone but his friends. So he was just like, hey guys, I came across this bear, and they didn't tell anybody. Which, like, what would you do in that situation if you stumbled upon a dead bear? Like,
aren't you supposed to tell someone? Like, if you accidentally hit a deer in the road, aren't you supposed to call, like, someone to come pick it up?
Well, I think this was out in the forest. So I don't know if you just like walk away, but I feel like you have to like tell a park ranger or something, right?
I don't know. I don't know what bear procedures are.
Well, we
live in Minneapolis.
You're not studied in like bear proceedings or anything, bear law.
I feel like you should tell someone though.
Yeah.
I feel like it's also just like if you see a dead animal that's maybe not a deer because I feel like deer are prey animals, but like a bear, you might be concerned that there's something in the area that's killing them, like in the water, or like it ate something that's poisonous,
right?
So I feel like you should tell someone because you might be concerned about the other wildlife,
right? Well, I would also assume like there must be like a lot of like foaming and stuff, so like it might be like rabies, maybe.
Bear.
Yeah, I don't know. I
was like any dead bear or this specific dead bear.
This specific dead bear, I guess. Like, if it was like, because it took a bunch of cocaine, I would assume.
Did it say anything about how he found the bear, like the state the bear was in, besides dead?
You know, that's a good question. I don't really know. I wasn't there for the autopsy. Okay, but eventually, so word got around, and the Georgia oh my god. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the GBI, would locate the bear corpse, but not the missing 75 pounds of cocaine. So I think, so any reasonable person would guess that the bear didn't consume the entirety of the cocaine, but as one GBI agent notes, something ain't right, I'll tell you that. So they found the dead bear, and they're like, what is going on?
Wait, was there any reports on who the cocaine belonged to?
I'll get to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm too far ahead.
Stop reading my notes.
You think I can see this far?
Okay, so there was an autopsy, and the Georgia State Chief Medical Examiner found that 3 to 4 grams of cocaine made it into the bloodstream, which doesn't sound like a lot when there was 75 pounds of cocaine that needed to be accounted for, and then only 3 to 4 grams
I
was
was
found.
just thinking that.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I was like, well, yeah, so that's a lot of cocaine that's missing. I don't know if it is like, it counts for like absorption rates or anything. If 3 to 4 grams of, I don't know what that translates to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like a lot, but at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah, so 3 to 4 grams doesn't sound like a lot, but the normal like line of cocaine is 20 to 30 milligrams.
Yeah, but it's also a bear.
Yeah.
And I don't know bear metabolism.
Well, yeah, and then so I did the math and I was like, so the bear ate about 140 times a typical dosage or one line of coke. So that's still a lot even for a bear.
That's why the bear only lived 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's also like, I don't think it's as big as you think it is because we say bear.
Well, it's a black bear,
but it's a
black bears are small.
Yeah, it's a lot smaller. Okay, so basically the condensed version of it was that there was a drug smuggling ring known as the Company. Yeah, I don't know. I don't make these things up. I just report, okay? And its ringleader was Andrew Carter Thompson II. So while attempting to smuggle drugs, his plane malfunctioned, causing him to jump out of the plane along with all the drugs he was smuggling. However, like his plane, his parachute failed him, and over the course of the next few weeks, hundreds of pounds of cocaine was found throughout the forest.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So they found other bags of cocaine.
Yeah. I think he was flying from, like, I want to say South America or something.
Wait, so he died too?
Yes.
Because his parachute failed him.
Yes.
So did they find him also in the forest?
I believe they found him on like a roof or something, or like in the front lawn or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, because a little girl found him. God. Yeah. That's from what I remember.
I don't know if the bear part of this is worse or the fact that this poor little girl woke up and was like, there's a dead man.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Yeah. So, like, I was going and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a fun little story. And then I just like, oh, this is like deep cut, like smuggling ring. Like, there's going to be an actual, like, story.
All I can think is dark comedy.
Yeah, it's a dark comedy thriller, which makes sense. So the details of the incident and the drug smuggling was written about in Sally Denton's book, The Bluegrass Conspiracy. So there's a lot more details that I'm not going to go into. That was basically the rough of it. Because I was like, that's boring. I don't want to talk about a guy.
Wait, so what does the bear do when it's on the rampage?
I don't think anything. It was just in a national forest.
So it didn't like enter society,
no,
or anything
like a fine gentleman. No. No, I think it just was like, haha, a bear ate a bunch of cocaine. And then like people like to joke and say like, oh, it probably went on like a mad rampage, ate all the snacks or something. But in reality, it just died 20 minutes later.
But it didn't do any damage to like the forest, the other animals?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, like also like a cocaine, I don't think I wrote about it, but like there's like organ failure that is involved with like overdosage of drugs like that.
You're thinking it started dying
immediately. Like as soon as it ate half of it, it just started dying.
Are black bears foragers? Like scavengers?
I think they are. I think they eat meat, yeah. If they come across carcasses, they'll eat it.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of like, what animal does it? Because I recently found out that deer do that. Yeah.
Wait, aren't deer...
Yeah, they're herbivores, but they'll eat, like, if they come across, like, random corpses, they'll eat it. Like, there are cases when they find deer, like, there's, like, bone fragments or skulls or whatever stuck on, like, deers and stuff, and that's because they had, like, recently ate.
This is why in Train to Busan, the first thing you see is the deer turn into a zombie.
Oh my gosh. No one, everyone thinks the deer is innocent. I don't think so. But also, I don't know if it's just, like, rare instances in which that has happened.
Yeah, maybe there's something wrong with that deer.
Yeah.
Like it has a disease or something's not.
Right. But it's also like, it could be like lack of minerals too. Because, you know, when you go eat, you're looking for like, I don't know, it's lack of nutrition. Like there's no iron. So it's just looking for blood. Like a vampire. I don't know. Anyways, you're not safe from deer.
Interesting.
Yeah. But the cocaine bear, yeah, so anyways.
So this movie's coming out? Following the story.
Yeah. So Cocaine Bear's body was recovered and stuffed and is now immortalized as Pablo Escobear.
Where? In Georgia?
So it's interesting because there was a lot of moving about of the Cocaine Bear and it actually got lost.
Exhibit.
Yeah, it actually got lost for like a decade or something.
They lost a bear?
Yeah, because so after being stored stored, stolen, and pawned, Pablo can now be found at the Kentucky Fun Mall in Lexington, Kentucky.
He's a long way from home.
Yeah, in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so it was stored. I think it got lost in like a storage unit or something, or it was like left there for like a decade or something.
They lost the bear?
Yeah, and like no one could locate it because like.
It's so interesting how you lose something so large that cannot move.
It happens, I guess.
You just like open the storage unit, you're like, oh, there's nothing here.
There's nothing here. Just completely blindfolded.
It's completely bare.
You can leave.
Someone help us.
Someone help us. Yeah, so now it's in Kentucky Fun Mall, which I don't know if it's still open. I should have looked some more. But after like the pandemic and everything, I'm sure it's probably shut down and it's probably moved.
I don't even know what Kentucky Fun Mall is.
Fun Mall?
Fun Mall, sorry.
Some random tourist attraction, I'm sure.
Is it a museum?
It's a fun mall. I can tell you that.
Is it an actual mall?
I think it's like one of those like weird like
an auditorium?
Strip malls where it has
not an auditorium.
I don't think so. I could look. I should do more research on this.
Just
honestly.
do it now. What's the Kentucky Fun Mall? Well, it has high reviews.
Oh, it's still open.
Let's see images.
That's like the first thing that pops. Oh my. Okay, we'll have to like put up a photo of what we see. Yeah, that's a tiny bear.
Poor little guy. You didn't deserve this. So did any other animals consume this cocaine that they found? Besides, because since you said there were multiple bags dropped, were there any other reports of cocaine deer?
Cocaine deer? I'm sure. I mean, I feel like I'm sure there was probably, but like, I think this was significant because it was like an entire 75-pound bag was missing.
Poor little bear.
Yeah, and like also the fact that like the bear was probably found not too far away from like, I'm assuming the duffel bag or something, and I'm sure like other animals probably consumed it. So it's just that I feel like it's not probably big enough to make note of it because as compared to like a bear, like a high predatory animal.
No one cares about cocaine deer.
Yeah, no one cares about cocaine deer.
It sounds like a bad movie. Not Cocaine Bear, Cocaine Deer.
Like the sequel? The sequel to Cocaine Bear?
Like it sounds like, they ran out of movies to make, so they were like, you've heard of Cocaine Bear? Here's Cocaine Deer. Like one of those.
Okay, so as stated earlier, the movie will be a dark comedy thriller and it's directed by Elizabeth Banks. So she's done The Hunger Games and Pitch Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a switch in genre.
Right.
I mean,
so like that kind of gives me confidence that like if anybody can do it, she can do it.
What a switch in genres, because The Hunger Games is dystopian.
Yes.
Is that a movie genre?
Yeah.
Dystopian. Pitch Perfect is
comedy. So dark comedy, perfect center.
Yeah. Dystopian and comedy, you get dark comedy.
Right.
Interesting. What a change.
Okay, and then produced by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the Lego Movie.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and then the screenplay will be written by Jimmy Warden, and he wrote Netflix's The Babysitter, and he also played a guy named Some Asshole in that movie.
I don't think I've seen The Babysitter.
It's pretty good. It has I'm pretty sure the second one has Jenna Ortega in it.
I don't think I've seen it.
I would recommend it. I would say it's a comedy. I don't know about dark comedy, but it's like...
Oh, is it just like a comedy? What is it about?
It's like a bunch of high schoolers trying to like do some cult stuff.
I don't know why in my head I could only think of The Pacifier. Like that's the type of movie I was picturing.
Oh, like Wait, is that the one with Dwayne Johnson taking care of the baby?
Takes care of the kids.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I have to report on Cocaine Bear. Wasn't that exciting?
Story time.
We had nothing else to talk about, so I figured we'd talk about
95% sounds really pure.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder what like the average like purity of cocaine. I would Google this, but I'm afraid of the FBI or the GBI coming after me.
Anyone coming after you? No, it sounds really pure in my opinion to have 95%.
Yeah.
Being sold on the market.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Probably made by a chemist.
Probably do some Breaking Bad.
They do say that after you take organic chemistry, you have all the knowledge you need to make.
Well, okay, no, straight up, because one time I was in organic chemistry and we just spent the entire lesson. He was like, well, this is relevant to what we're gonna what we're learning right now, so I'll teach you how to make cocaine. Well, he didn't say it from the top. He was like going through the formulas, and we're like, oh, okay, cool. And he's like, and that makes cocaine. And I was like, shit, I should have been writing that down.
I do believe it though, because I feel like any of the chem courses I took after organic chemistry, like organic chemistry lab, all of the lab skills build upon organic chemistry. I feel like once you have those lab skills, you can kind of just do whatever once you figure out what mixes together and what works.
Unless you're me and I just barely passed chemistry the entire time.
We all barely passed chemistry.
It was so bad.
A mutual struggle.
I walked out of my last final and was like, I'm going to have to retake that course
again. Remember you saying that, but then you ended up passing.
I know, I was surprised. Chemistry really humbled me.
Oh, yeah, that's all I took.
Chemistry was the one that humbled me. I know, you're crazy, because you took what? You're a chemistry and a biochem major.
Yeah, so I had both, but I used to walk into some of my finals, know that I didn't know information, and that would be it. Because I used to, like, cry if I didn't know information, but by the time I hit my junior year, I was like, this is normal.
This is fine.
I finished my final, I'd be like, let's go get some food.
Yeah.
No point in being sad now.
Yeah. Well, it was honestly super nice, though, because I feel like that was kind of our tradition, right? After finals, we'd go get bubble tea and, like, just sit there and eat all-you-can-eat sushi.
That sounds like us.
Yeah, I was like, that was really nice, actually, because it's just, like, conditioned me to be like, oh, there's something to look forward to after this. This isn't the end.
There was also one final where I didn't have a final, but she had a final. I think you had a physics final. But I went over to her place to take a nap while she went to go take her physics final.
Yeah.
And then she came back, and she's like, that was awful. And then we just ate ice cream on the ground.
On the ground?
That's when we met your brother's friend.
Yeah, he just, like, walked into my apartment, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I locked that door. But I could have not. I think Alan had come in earlier and I didn't hear it. But he just walked in. I think he walked into my room and was just like, hey, where's Alan?
And I was like, who is that? And she's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, this strange man coming in.
And it's funny though, because like anytime we talk about him, I think only I have met him.
Yeah, he's like a cryptid.
And I'm like, why doesn't anyone else have the joy of meeting this character?
I'm telling you, he's a cryptid.
It was so weird.
Speaking of cryptids, we can take Bigfoot sighting classes. I was looking at the Richfield Community Center.
Why at Richfield?
I don't know, but they offer it.
I feel like I would feel better taking a Bigfoot sighting class in Duluth.
Yeah, like up north.
He's not down here.
Yeah, no, he's not in the city. He's not a big city man.
He's up there, not down here. I feel like this is just like, they're trying to lie to you. You're paying to be lied to.
Yeah, basically. But I was like, I think they travel. I think it was. I didn't really look too much into it because I thought it'd be fun.
Currently in Richfield.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I think the class was like Finding Bigfoot, like it was like a Hallmark movie or like a documentary or something. In search of Sasquatch.
At the start of our Hallmark movie life, we're gonna move on from the grocery store arc and onto our Hallmark movie arc.
Like I move out of the big city and I go meet a mysterious hairy man, fall in love, teaches me about the wood life.
The modern Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
I haven't watched anything recently.
Oh no, what have you been up to?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Just existing.
Just existing.
Taking lines of cocaine with Cocaine Bear. Pablo Escobear.
Actually, I prefer Cocaine Deer.
What's his name? Pablo Escobear? He doesn't
even
get Paulo.
Like from Lizzie McCoy. You know what's so crazy about that movie though? She's in 8th grade. Well, technically she's like 8th grade going to high school. That's her 8th grade graduation trip.
I feel like this gets brought up every so often, and every time it's surprise.
Well, because I like to I don't know, I just think about it and I'm like, wait a second, like, she's too young to be doing this.
Oh no, it's like when you become your parents, like watching that movie.
Oh my god,
you're like, that's way too young.
You were too young to be running around in a foreign country with this man you don't know. And especially because, spoiler alert, when you get to the end of the movie, you realize he's not that great of a person.
Yeah.
Like, you're too young.
Well, and also, he's 18 in that movie. I think he's old.
I think he's like 16. I think he's like a teenage star, but I actually don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
But also, like...
Oh, I'm not gonna look it up.
Also, like, as... What are they called? Chaperones?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are not doing your job.
Well,
they should sue the school.
They only had that one chaperone.
And she sucked.
Yeah, well, she was watching like 30, 50 kids
they should have brought
like
more chaperones.
Yeah, so many plot holes.
But, like... Oh my gosh. No, I would not. I would not be allowed to do that. I would not let you do that. I wouldn't let you do that now.
What do you mean? You won't let me ride on a motorbike with some teen pop star?
Well,
I mean, mid-20s pop star.
I need him to sign. I need some signatures of your safety.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like,
you'd be
God.
You'd be my legal guardian.
I need
signature.
Just give me your credit card. I need to make sure she gets back, so I need you to give me like your credit card.
What? You just be like having me on one of those like backpack leashes like those kids have.
You're not allowed. I'm riding a short distance behind you
on a different motorbike. We're old.
No, I was like,
I feel like we say this once an episode.
No, I think we haven't said it yet. I was like really thinking about it today, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be 26 this year.
Dang, you're old.
I know.
She's so old.
Is that from Mulan?
Yeah, the second movie. Yeah. Which, okay, I feel like people don't give the second movie of Mulan any love, but I like it.
I don't think it's a bad sequel.
I don't think it's a bad. I think Shang is like not a great character in the second movie, but we just ignore him.
I'm trying to remember him. I just remember they fight a lot.
Yeah, he was kind of an annoying character in that one. But then like the whole point of it is like they get over their differences. Yeah.
I also think Lion King 2 isn't a bad sequel. I enjoyed Lion
I agree.
King 2.
I enjoyed Lion King 2 as well.
I'm trying to think of what other sequels I've seen.
It's funny though because it's like I feel like both of those sequels are the sequels that I sing like songs to the most. Like I sing Lesson Number 1 and just like or I Want to Be Like Other Girls.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and then from The Lion King, I sing He Is Not One. Is that the song title?
The one that's like Deception Disgrace. Yeah. I think that's the chorus, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know what it's called. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. Like when they are trying to like exile him. Yeah. Doesn't it make you wonder though? Like when you watch The Lion King, they have all these animals gathered around the lions, but they eat you.
Yeah, I don't really know how they figure that out. It's like some weird cult situation, right? Where they're like, we will sacrifice our young and old.
They eat you.
Yeah, or our weak and old.
Like logically, why are you going to them? They eat you.
Right. And also, why are we going along with this monarchy, you know? At this point, they're just figureheads, right? Are they making actual decisions in the Pride Rock?
What do they do? Who do they protect? Because they eat them.
Yeah, exactly. All they do is, like, I feel like the zebras and the giraffes need to start a coup, and they should not stand for this anymore.
I guess we're on a movie theme because that's what we've been talking about for the most part. Have you seen any good movies recently?
No, because I don't really watch movies. I watch shows more than I do movies.
I don't watch either. So.
Yeah, because like I like it's either I watch them in a series or I like my movies just contained to a single movie. That's like.
Oh, I like my movies contained to a single movie. The shorter something is, the more I'll like it. If you can build a world in a shorter amount of time, I think you did a better job. No offense to anyone who writes shows. I just don't have the patience to sit through an entire show.
I prefer that. I prefer shows.
No, I'm trying to be one and done. Like,
yeah, that's fair. It's also very impressive though, because like to be able to tell a whole story in like 2 hours versus 8 hours. I do like the 8-episode season though. That has made it significantly easier for me to watch shows. The fact that I can binge a day. I was gonna say, I was like, so you can binge.
I was like, if I can binge in a day, then I'm more likely to get through it than if it takes me a longer amount of time. So 8 to 12 I can do in like a day or like a weekend or even So something. I'm more likely to get through it.
Yeah. I was actually having a conversation with my family members the other day, and we were talking about like how like some captions are just bad though, like because like sometimes it'll just be like speaks in foreign language. Like we were joking, we're just like, yeah, we need captions, and they're like, but sometimes the captions don't even work well, and then it'll just be like half the movie's in Chinese and all they will be like speaks in Chinese. And then like we're like, people get paid good money to do that, and all they have are like FX sounds, like they don't even have like explosions.
I think it's so funny though when they do that, because you're like, I know they're speaking in a foreign language. Yeah. That's why I'm trying to read these captions. I think when they do that though, what they're saying isn't necessarily important. It's just they're saying stuff, but I know exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah, sometimes it's important. Like, I don't know.
That's so funny.
At least get a translator or something if you're gonna do that. Like, I don't know.
Speaks in
foreign language.
That's so true. Sometimes they do that and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
You know, it's a good sequel, Toy Story.
Ah, yes.
Because the third Toy Story really, there's like now 4 of them, but before they released this 4th one, the third Toy Story really tied up the story nicely, I thought.
Agree, yeah.
Yeah. And the 4th one's good too, actually. I think they did a good job extending it without like compromising what the series was originally about.
I would agree. Yeah, the 3rd one was really nice. Did you know I didn't like Toy Story for the longest time?
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah,
I also didn't like Monster Inc. growing up.
Yeah, okay, no, I liked Monster Inc. I didn't
like Monster Inc. growing up.
I still don't like Cars.
I don't think I was ever really crazy about Cars. No. I mean, I've seen it.
No, I think it's like the memes are funny and everything, but like I don't love Cars.
Why are there so many memes around
Lightning
Cars?
McQueen? Ka-chow! I don't know.
You know, this is one time my sister was in the driveway. She was holding her bike. I don't know what happened, but she told me that her bike like tipped off and she fell back. Like that scene in Cars where they go moo at the
they go cow tipping, but like it's like
the whatever the cow cars are.
Yeah.
She's like in that scene they like moo when they tip. She's like, that's exactly what happened to her. Like she sent me the clip and everything. And she had like the biggest bruise, and I was like, how did this even happen?
Oh my
like
God.
I don't understand because she said she was just like holding her bike
and she just like fell backwards. I feel like was she like trying to go on the back or she just tried?
I don't know.
Idea of toys coming to life freaked me out a lot.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, that's Annabelle level, right? Like your dolls are coming to life. Yeah, didn't love that. I think same idea with Cars. I think the fact that humans don't exist in that universe freaks me out a little bit. Because I'm just like, they're sentient cars. Like, they're sentient machines that are reliant...
Tesla is working towards.
I know. And that's why it freaks me out. I don't know.
Okay, but in Cars, I think it's cute that they... You know how he, like, goes to that town?
Yeah.
And the hotel are, like,
the cones? Okay, no,
it was really cute.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to also talk about that, too. I was like, I like that
that's
idea.
Really cute.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't like Toy Story growing up. I just didn't really enjoy it that much. I like it now as an adult, but I also didn't like Monster Inc., and I don't know why.
Do you enjoy Monster Inc. now?
Yeah, I do. But when I was a kid, I was like, it's all right. I don't really understand the hype behind it.
I think when growing up, I used to think Monster X. You
know, I had to ban K-pop from one of our episodes, and here she goes.
It just slips out. It's K-pop is always on my mind. No, Monster Inc. I think what? I keep saying Monster Inc. I used to think it was like a sad movie growing up because at the end, spoiler alert, I guess, she gets separated from them.
It is kind of sad.
Yeah, though. I was just like, oh, that's a really sad ending.
But it's like happy in the way that they like find another way to harvest energy.
Yeah,
that isn't involving scaring children.
Right. I think Mike Wazowski was one of my role models in my formative years, though. I feel like I align a lot with his humor.
See, I feel like, so growing up, I didn't watch a lot of the, like, princess movies. So then, like, when I think about movies and I'm young, like, Disney movies, I think of all the ones with animals. Like, Lady and the Tramp, The Fox and the Hound.
I would agree, yeah.
I don't remember any of the princess ones. I watched those all when I was not an adult, but like older, a teenager.
Yeah, same. I was like, the princess movies I do remember are like the Barbie princess movies.
I've never seen those. I've only seen like the animal ones. So I've animal movies.
Animal movies, yeah.
Yeah.
Those ones are also sad too. Like Fox and the Hound was kind of sad.
Fox and the Hound.
All Dogs Go to Heaven.
I love All Dogs Go to Heaven. I love both of those movies.
Why are these animal movies so sad?
Fox and the Hound I still watch now, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's funny because growing up, I didn't watch the first one. I watched the second one.
Oh, I don't like that one.
So that sequel just does not hold up to
the first one is so good.
Yeah.
And it's so sad.
Well, like, it's like I didn't have any of like the background of the first one, so I did really watch like because the second one is like a prequel or whatever. because it's about them as kids. Mm-hmm. So that one has a happy ending. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, he's still with the old lady at the end. And then I watched Fox and the Hound, the first one, the original, after, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness my childhood wasn't ruined by this movie.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie so much. Even growing up. And Lady and the Tramp, too. And All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Lady and the Tramp wasn't sad, though. That was a good one.
All Dogs Go to Heaven, though. That one. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that movie. That's an old one, though. That movie is so old.
Mm-hmm. That one also, I think I had, like, the Christmas special one, so I didn't watch the original until later. Listen, my family was poor. We'd buy, like, those, like, DVD box, like, you get, like, the $2
Yeah,
DVD
I remember,
ones.
though, at some point, like, there was all these movies you hadn't seen, and I was like, okay, we're gonna watch these. So we had, like, watched, like, Jurassic Park. I think I made you watch The Devil Wears Prada. Mm-hmm. I made you watch, like, John Tucker Must Die. Did you see Mean Girls with me, or did you have?
No, I've seen.
Okay,
I didn't see John Tucker Must Die, though. I think I
watched
saw that.
it with you.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. I made you watch it with me.
I don't remember that.
It's okay. It's just like a movie.
Yeah. See, I don't watch movies. I just like never did. Or I would watch the same like
movies
4
that I saw growing up. That was like, oh, like I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're fairly popular. At some point, you should see.
Yeah. What movie genre do you prefer usually?
Thriller.
Is it thriller? Oh, yeah. I guess we've talked about this.
Thriller, psychological. I like sad movies too, and I like. You used to say I like coming of. What is it? What are they?
Coming of age.
Coming of age movies.
Yeah.
Like Studio Ghibli movies.
Yeah.
Like those kind of movies where you learn something. What genre do you like?
Thriller. I prefer to be like engaged the entire time.
Yeah.
Or like
same.
Comedy, I think also.
See, I don't watch a lot of comedies. I almost never opt for like a comedy.
I used to like comedy a lot when I was growing up, but like nowadays I can't really like stand it because sometimes like I don't know, it gets when something is like fully comedy, like it's just solely a comedy movie, it almost gets to the point where it's ridiculous, and
that's how I feel. I almost never opt for a comedy movie. Mm-hmm. Like I will watch them if someone watches them with me. I will watch them if they're in like conjunction of another genre, like a dark comedy. I will watch, but it's very rare for me to opt for just comedy. Mm-hmm. I usually stray away.
So we are watching Cocaine Bear. There's a lot of dark comedy thrillers coming out.
It's a good genre because it doesn't. I don't know. It's just like it's just a good genre. Like right. I don't know.
Well, I feel like there's always been comparison made of like if a comedy director will do really well in a horror genre and vice versa, because like some of the tropes or techniques that they use for both, like the build up, the setup for like jokes or for like the big jump scare, is like very similar. That's why like dark comedy is such a good trope or like a good genre to do.
I think a lot of it's like really well timed, which makes it easier for me to watch.
Yeah. Okay. It's about an hour. I feel like
Goodbye.
We have decent. Bye. Follow us on social media at Floorever Friends, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. I love you. And then
she doesn't even say that. She doesn't even say that to me.
Okay, we're I love you.